Hello everyone, welcome to Ops on Cloud. In this specific video, let's try to understand swap in Linux. Have you ever had Linux slow down or kill app when RAM fills up? There is a way where we can stop this from happening. Swap is the answer for that. In this specific video, I will show you what is swap, how to set it up as a partition or a file, and how to verify if it's working, and how to make it persistent across rebooter. Okay, swap is a disk space that Linux can use as an overflow when RAM is under pressure. So imagine if you have a machine with 4 GB RAM and you open a heavy app that uses 2 GB out of it. Then you have one more app which uses another 2 GB, but it's not that active. Now RAM is basically full. If you try opening Chrome, Linux may move the inactive memory pages from RAM to swap. This will free up the RAM for active workloads. Swap is slower than RAM, but it can prevent crashes and keep the system stable. Alright? To check the swap memory and all, you can run command lsblk. Okay? So if you see here, we have SDA, which is 30 GB, this partition, and disk, and then you have SDB, which has 16 GB of disk size. Here we don't have any swap memory. Okay, so the safest way what we can do is to create a swap file. This is exactly what Ubuntu does by default. Okay, to check the current swap status, okay, what we can do is there is a command called as swapon, swapon show. So we should get an empty output. Yes. So now to verify it further, we can also run free -h command. So now you will be able to see there is swap is empty. Okay. So what we can do is we can try to create a swap file. So there are two ways. One is there are two different types of commands. One is we call it as a fallocate. So that is sudo fallocate allocate hyphen l 2 GB of swap file slash swap file. Okay. So this is also one way. The another way is to use DT utility. With DT you will get the progress as well. Let's verify it. Sudo dd if is equal to slash dev slash 0, okay, and of is equal to swap file and 1 MB is for bootloader, and count we will give it 2048 and status. Okay, so this dd utility will show you the progress of swap creation like this. All right. So now let's try to secure the swap file. So for that, let's change the permission. Only root should access the swap memory. For that, we will have to keep the file permission as 600. Sudo chmod 600 slash swap file. Okay, and then we can format the file as swap as well. For that, we can use sudo mkswap command is there, mkswap slash swap file. Okay, and then we need to enable the swap. For that, again sudo swapon slash swap file. That's all. Okay, And now we need to verify if the swap is active. For that, we can run swap on hyphen hyphen show. See, earlier the output was empty or 0. Now you are getting 2 GB of size. And use this 0 because we are not technically using the swap memory. We can also run free hyphen h again. See, again, here also you are able to see the swap memory. Okay. And now the settings, whatever we have done, the moment when I reboot this system, this swap memory space will not be available. Okay. To make it permanent, what we are supposed to do is we are supposed to use a fstab file. So for that, we can use sudo nano slash etc slash fstab. Okay. So in fstab, we need to point the swap file. For that, slash swap file and then none swap 0 0. Okay. We can do, can save this file. So then what we can do is we can also test it. There is no reboot needed for this. For that, sudo swap off hyphen a, and then we can run sudo swap on hyphen a command. Okay. Again, we can do swap on show. Yes, swap is still open or it's still there. So this is how we can configure swap memory on Ubuntu based operating systems. Alright. So from this, what we can understand is swap is something which will be used when system or the main RAM is not having enough space. You can learn these commands or practice these commands very well separately. This will be really helpful for your interviews. Thank you. Thanks a lot.